Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we're super happy to have you here. And if you've been listening and enjoying for a while, I would be super grateful if you would please take a moment to give us a review on Apple Podcasts. It's one of the best and simplest ways to pay it forward and help others find the show so that they too can tap into the powerful perspectives and positive vibrations we are collectively emanating. The other unique and magical way to share this show is by sending any friends you think would benefit from listening to this podcast our Game with the Universe link at positivehead.com/game. Also listed in the show notes, which will serve them up a quote-unquote random episode when they click it. Just instruct them before clicking the link to close their eyes for a moment and sincerely ask the universe to cue up the episode that contains the insight and perspectives that they most need to hear at this point in their life journey, and then click to listen to whatever episode is synchronistically served up to them. I have heard time and time again from people about the incredible results they received playing the game. So just tell your friends magical results are guaranteed or their karma back.
All right, all you positive heads, welcome back. I hope you all are having a wonderful start to your week. I am certainly happy to be here filling in for Brandon yet again. He is moving this week, moving up to the manor, optimistic manor, getting all the preparations taken care of for all of the epicness that is about to go down. So if you haven't checked it out yet, you can go to optimistic.tv to see what that's all about. And you can also access it from the positivehead.com website page. So today, what are we going to talk about? So over the weekend, I noticed a question that was posted on the Positive Heads Facebook group, which again, if you're listening and you're not a part of the group, it really is an amazing group with so much support and love and exploration. And it's really neat to see how many people are participating and helping one another. Now, I have to say, I don't have that much time in the day to be able to participate as much as I might like to. When I get to go on Facebook, I probably have just a few minutes to peruse really quickly. So that's typically what happens. And I happened to notice this question, and I thought it would be a really great topic to talk about and address today. And that is the concept of love being the only thing that is real. And we'll get into that in just a minute after I read a review, because y'all know how much we love to get these and how much it helps new people to find us and how super appreciative we are when we get them and how much it fuels Brandon's fire to do this on a daily basis. So I'm going to actually read two today. The first one is from Taylor White 00. Beautiful podcast with 5 stars. I love this illuminating podcast. Thanks, Brandon, for all that you do to contribute to this wonderful life. Thank you, Taylor White. And then the next one is from Beck Huda. I was awakened. The end. That's it. Short and sweet. Thank you, Beck. And thank you, Taylor. Again, we love you and appreciate you so much for taking the time to write those reviews and letting us know how you feel and how the podcast has impacted you. So it's always beautiful to get that reflection back. So thank you again so much. So today, speaking of reflections, we're all reflections of one another, reflections of the light that is the light and the love that is all of us, the love and the light that we were created from and makes us who we are. And also the love that gives us the power to be creators ourselves. So here's the question that I saw on the Facebook page. It was from Hannah, and she said, "Why do I keep seeing and hearing people say that love is the only real emotion? I'm assuming that an answer to this is pretty complex, but maybe someone could at least get the ball rolling, LOL. It's late at night and I'm deep in thought per usual, but damn, sadness hurts so bad. How is it not real? Well, Hannah, it is real. All those emotions are real. And when we talk about love in this way, we're not necessarily talking about it as love, the emotion. So when I think about this, I think about it in the sense that, well, first of all, we're using love here as a homonym, or let's consider love to be a homonym. So a couple different definitions of love. We have love as an emotion. And then we have love as this incredible power, this incredibly powerful force that is creation. This is a love that is deep and whole and unconditional. And we can feel that type of love in this 3D reality. But when we speak of love being the only thing that is real, we're talking about it from this place of a higher dimensional type of perspective, maybe, if you want to look at it that way, because it's helpful, I think, to see this from a dimensional perspective. And we have the ability to think like this because we are multi-dimensional beings. So when we think about love from the grand scheme or from the bigger picture, that is the eternally real. What we are made of, what we come from, and the force behind creation. Love has to be the only thing that is real because it is what we're created from. And so if love creates us, then that is all that we are in the grand scheme of things. But we are in this 3D reality, aren't we? So all of the other emotions besides love, when we talk about love as one of the emotions, which is different than talking about love as this incredible force of creation. So our emotions, including love and jealousy and anger and hatred and sadness, all of those are very, very real. And we came here to experience all of it. We came to experience emotions and limitations. Because on the spirit side, the non-material realm, none of this is possible because there is no veil, right? There is no illusory separation that's preventing us from seeing the bigger picture. Over on the spirit side, we see everything clearly. We see through everything. We can see the thoughts and intentions of others. So therefore, because everything is so clear and you do see and know that everything is made of love, that nothing makes you angry, nothing makes you jealous, because you see things very clearly and all you know is love. So it is only in this 3D sense that these things can be real. And this 3D world is very limited. The spirit side is the eternal side. This is what carries on lifetimes after lifetimes. That is real. Now, speaking of carrying on for lifetimes, we can carry all of our emotions throughout different lifetimes. We carry this through our memory, in our spirit, and in our consciousness. I had a client one time who had a brother who they had been going through multiple lifetimes over and over with each other. And this brother hated his sister, just absolutely hated her. And they had different lifetimes where he attacked her and she had him thrown in jail and all sorts of things. And they were put together as brother and sister in this life because it was thought by their higher guides and those who help with this process of incarnation. It was thought that in that closeness, in a familial relationship, that he would be able to release his hatred and learn to love in this reality, because he could see it very clearly over there. He wanted to be able to love here. So what happened? Unfortunately, he carried his hatred through to this lifetime. And he continues to carry it lifetime through lifetime because that's all he can remember.
Before we continue on with today's episode, I'd like to take a quick moment to tell you about our sponsor, Talkspace. As a listener of this podcast, you know it's important to prioritize your mental health and wellness because when you work on yourself, you'll start to see and feel positive changes in all areas of your life. When it comes to getting help via therapy, Talkspace makes it super convenient to get mental health care with or without insurance to fit your needs. The long-term effects of therapy can give you the tools to deal with challenges as they arise and lead to a more optimistic outlook on life. And you don't need to wait until something goes wrong in your life to work with a therapist. Of course, Talkspace is also there to help with any specific challenges you might be facing. It's the #1 online therapy platform with thousands of licensed therapists trained in over 40 specialties, including anxiety, depression, relationships, and more. Your therapist can help you set and achieve your goals. And as a listener of this podcast, you'll get $100 off your first month with Talkspace when you go to Talkspace.com and use code POSITIVE. So to match with a licensed therapist today, go to Talkspace.com and use the code POSITIVE to get $100 off of your first month.
So emotions, all emotions are very, very, very real. Here, here and on the spirit side. They just feel different here. And on the spirit side, you see them clearly and you have a different understanding of the wholeness and the bigger perspective. So when we think of dimensions, it's easy maybe to think about this in the layers of an onion, and that we are the small inside, seeing it from only the inside. But then there is layers upon layers outside of us that have a broader and broader perspective. Or another way to think about it is as if in this lifetime we are standing in a maze, and in the other lifetimes it is as if you have a bird's eye perspective of the maze, whereas you're floating above it and you can see all the different directions and twists and turns that you need to make to get where you're going. In this reality, we don't get to see that. We're blinded, we're veiled. And that is all for a purpose. It is for the purpose of learning. And so what are the lessons that we are learning? In a nutshell, we're here learning the lessons of love, the lessons of understanding and compassion. And I don't know of any other better way to do that, but to have so much contrast. We experience a ton of contrast here, don't we? At the end of the day, we want to come to a place of remembrance that everything that exists is made from love. And that means everything. All of those things that trigger you or that you dislike or things that you may think are disharmonious, those are made of love too. As hard as that is to swallow, everything. There's a law of one quote that says, "The Creator contains all and therefore cannot abhor any." So that means that even the murderers, the rapists, and the demons too, all of it is created from love. The love that is the Creator, the love that is the creative force in this infinite universe. When the Creator burst out and separated itself into all of these tiny fragments, its goal was to experience everything there was to possibly experience. Now that's an infinite sea of possibilities when you have free will in the mix. So what that means is everything, no matter how ugly it may seem to us in this 3D reality, comes from love. And yes, it may be negatively polarized. It may be hurtful. It still comes from love. Another law of one quote, "While it may seem that thoughts other than love and brotherhood are not created by the Creator, that is not possible. All thought that is generated by the Creator. All things that are generated by the Creator. All things, all places, all consciousness, all thought is generated by the thought of the Creator. The Creator has infinite parts, all having free will and generating thought in any way they choose. All these parts communicate or feedback information to the infinite creation, the Creator. And a quote from one of our favorite books, The Bird Tribes, The Return of the Bird Tribes by Ken Carey. I appear in the sea, in wind, in soil, in starlight. In the sun I appear. I appear in mountains and desert rain. I am the star, and I am the stone. I am bird and fish, sky and sea. One and whole, eternally I come, differentiating, multiplying, refracting like a ray of light through 10,000 water droplet prism pearls suspended in Earth's highest sphere. Shining I come to touch the surface of this matter world in a splashing, multicolored chorus of light men and light women, created to bring beauty, love, order, and grace to this sacred dance of atomic form. I think that is a beautiful representation of how the Creator would explain creation. So essentially, we begin in love and we eventually go back to love in our spiritual evolutionary process. And there's a whole lot that happens in between, and that's just where it gets confusing. So a big, big part is that remembering where you came from, remembering that you are source. And also remember that the way, or one of the ways that you can get to a place of understanding this, is by exploring the darkness. Carl Jung said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." So all of these darker emotions that we experience, or all of the darker aspects of ourself, are those places that help us learn to love more, because these are the places that show us where we need compassion and understanding. By examining these places within ourselves, taking the time to actually feel these feelings, understand where they're coming from, looking deeply within, and accepting these parts in ourselves. And that's the key, to be able to accept it. With that acceptance comes balance. And in that balance is that complete harmony that exists where you know and understand then that love really is all that there is. Another quote from the Law of One: "All of the infinite loci are one in the consciousness of love." So that brings up another concept that can also be hard to swallow, which is the concept of oneness and how we are all one in love. And I think that being able to understand one helps you understand the other. So we can understand unity, we can understand love. We understand love, then we can then understand unity. Now, I think that the Law of One is an amazing body of material, and it has so much good information. And so I'm going to read a little bit of some paraphrase Law of One, and it's still super, super dense, but I think that it's the best description that I've seen to describe what this incredible force of love, what this creative principle really is. So this is actually a direct quote. "The creation itself is a form of consciousness which is unified, the logos being the one giant heart of creation." So love is a focus. It is a type of energy of extremely high order, which causes intelligent energy to form from the potentials of intelligent infinity. This energy can take infinite forms and must be recognized as a force and an activity rather than an object. It is an extremely strong focus of energy emanating from unity, from infinity, from the oneness. It is the great activator and primal co-creator. Love comes from one strength, unity. This strength is infinite. Any qualities of finite nature are chosen by the nature of this primal movement. This vibration of pure love can be understood as pure motion. It is not yet condensed to form any type of density of illusion. Through this process of vibration, love creates the photon. The photon additionally vibrates and rotates and further condenses to form the particles which form the densities which we experience. It shall be understood that any portion, no matter how small, of any density or illusory pattern contains, as in a holographic picture, the one creator, which is infinity. Thus, all begins and ends in mystery. So that's a really good point. This all begins and ends in mystery, which means we are not going to figure all of this out, and it is not for our human minds to fully grasp. It's going to remain a mystery for us, probably for eons, until we can fully grasp, right? Total 100% understanding and remembrance that all you are is love. There is so much magic and power in that. Love is our greatest protector, the most powerful force. These are concepts that Jesus taught, that Krishna taught, that Buddha taught, that Lao Tzu taught. All of these great teachers understood this and tried to teach us. And we're still trying to learn. And it's okay, because it's hard being human. It's really hard being human. So I think we can pat ourselves on the back a little bit for just being able to remember this a little bit, just a little bit. And here's a little bit from Dolores Cannon's book, The Convoluted Universe, Book 2. This was in one of her sessions where the past life was an experience of the goddess Isis. And it was said that love is all there is. Love is what you breathe. It permeates the universes, the cosmos, and love is what everything is created from. Love permeates and supersedes everything else. It transforms and transpirits everything. Love is the most powerful force in the world. If people tell you that the opposite of love is fear, it is not so. Love just is. Love has no opposite. Remember that, dear one. Love has no opposite. Love just is. It is the answer to everything. Everything. We've all heard that before, right? Love is the answer. Now, what was the question? So, at the end of all of this discussion, I think the takeaway really is, what is love? You are love. I am love. We are love. We are one. And in this one, there is only love. So everyone, I want you to remember the light and the love within me recognizes the light and love within you. And with that, I will leave you with a song for today. This is Elephant Revival, Sing to the Mountain. Love you all. Till next time.
Fires burn tonight. Let the jugs of wine get drunk. Let the truth be known tonight. Don't go let yourself hide. Go and sing to the mountain. Go and sing to the moon. Go and sing to just about everything, 'cause everything is you. Listen to the rhythm of your heart play like a drum. Listen to the night call, singing songs from all around. Go and sing to the mountain. Go and sing to the moon. Go and sing to just about everything, 'cause everything is you. And let your voice go, let it pierce through your soul. And let your voice go, let it pierce through your soul. Let the fires burn tonight. Let the jugs of wine get drunk. Let the truth be known tonight. Don't go let yourself hide. Go and sing to the mountain. Go and sing to the moon. Go and sing to just about everything, 'cause everything is